Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And FSH Design. Let your imagination grow with FSH Design. Visit fshdesign.com today.
And now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, Cayman, and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz right here on Radio Cayman. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and the Business Buzz is brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 until 9 with the kind sponsorships of Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and FSH Design. This morning, we put the spotlight and hear more about Cayman Bay's Literacy Month activities. And our guests are Miss Christy Whitaker of Cayman Bay, who's Marketing Manager, and Miss Marilyn Connolly, Executive Director of LIFE. Literacy is for everyone. That's what that acronym stands for. Ladies, good morning, and it's a pleasure to have you in studio to tell us more.
Good morning.
Wow, that's in unison.
Nice and bright and early.
Yes, after fighting with traffic, you're perfect.
Yep.
And you know what? After the 8 o'clock news, sports and weather update, we will be putting the spotlight on the RCIPS. And guess what our topic will be about? Traffic. So it's perfect timing. Without further ado, please tell our listening and viewing audience about Literacy Month, the children's story time, and, how many years it has been held at Cayman Bay.
So Cayman Bay, this is about the 5th year that we've been celebrating Literacy Month. There's a host of activities that we have planned. The first set, and these are in no particular order, but Books and Books. They're having a story time with local authors. So every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. And it's for ages up to about 7. We think that's an appropriate age for these story times. And the first one, or the second one, will be this Saturday, and it's going to be with Kathleen Bodden-Harris, and she's reading her book Quest on a Moral Road. So we just encourage all of the parents to bring their kids out and to enjoy some interactive sessions with the authors, and also they can get their book signed as well. They can purchase the book and get that signed. And then there's a few other times available. So Saturday, 21st of September is Alphabet Island by Katie Urey, and the 28th of September will be the Great Caribbean Chicken Caper by Faye Lippett. So those are our story times every Saturday, 10:30.
Now, how will Cayman Bay staff be showing their support for Literacy Month?
We have a great program that Marilyn has been putting on for a very long time through LIFE, the only literacy charity on island. And we basically get staff to volunteer with readings at schools, and that is through LIFE and also through the YMCA school reading program. So we have various staff, and they're still in the sign-up process, so I don't have an exact amount of staff members that will be participating, but we'll basically get a bunch of staff, which every year we do get them to go into the schools of their choice and either bring their favorite book that they like from their childhood or the schools supply books, and they just interact with the kids, read the books. We also have some activity sheets that we've put together that will help with literacy components and reading, so that they can just interact with the kids and have a good afternoon with them.
Okay. Now, Ms. Marilyn Connolly, again, Executive Director of Literacy for Everyone, can you share with us a little on LIFE's mission and the benefits of improving literacy levels across the Cayman Islands?
Good morning, Sabrina. Our goal is really to improve literacy levels across the Cayman Islands. And this is to benefit children in our public schools, especially right now, who look to a future that they want to include employment opportunities and a life free of poverty and crime. And we have found through research that one of the best ways to affect and improve standard of living is through increased literacy levels in the community. Right. So the organization was set up through Rotary Sunrise many years ago, who were doing things in the community but saw that more needed to be done to improve literacy levels. And so Life Limited, Literacies for Everyone, Cayman's literacy charity, was set up in order to run intervention programs and other activities in the schools to improve our literacy levels.
Now, I know you explained that part of it, the mission, but what is the main programs of Life?
Well, we have 4 main programs. Our most popular is our paired reading program, where anyone from the community can apply to become a Life volunteer and go to schools and read 30 minutes once a week during the school year. You need to have a police clearance certificate and to have done Darkness to Light, the child protection program. Which is now a standard for all youth-serving organizations, and just apply to Life. It makes a huge difference. 30 minutes once a week at all schools on Grand Cayman, government schools. So we have a list of times and opportunities available. We also now partner this first year with the YMCA with their extended after-school program. And we love partnerships. I have to shout out the YMCA. Our other popular program is our Partners in Print, where we have teachers, we pay teachers to stay after school to teach parents reading tips with their children, because parents are key partners in increasing literacy levels. So we put a lot of focus on that, and every child who attends those sessions gets a free book, and typically food is provided by the PTA. And our other major project is our book donation program that is also facilitated with a drop-off point in Camana Bay at mailboxes, etc. And our role is to collect gently used or donated new books, and we put those as classroom libraries in the government school system, so that Life is now the major donor of books to the government schools, because in the last 4 years, through the work of our book donations coordinator, Erin, shout out to her, we have now donated over 23,000 books to government classrooms, so that children have books in their hands to be able to read.
Excellent, excellent. So what role can language play in the development of children's learning?
It is crucial. It is absolutely crucial. The world that we live in now is, needless to say, so different from 50 years ago, where we can get by just on relationships.
Yes.
We have to communicate more than ever in order to just make it through the day-to-day activities, job applications, resumes, interviews. There's so many different forms of communication, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. We're always typing and communicating with someone.
You're quite right.
And language development and the ability to communicate is so key to all of those things. But at the primary school level, it's as simple as being able to understand and enjoy a story. But beyond reading a book for enjoyment, it is being able to understand the examination question in front of you in order to write the answer to a math or physics question or a biology question. Literacy and the ability to read and understand and communicate and comprehend goes beyond English. It touches every single part of our lives, and it is especially important that children learn how to read by the end of year 3, certainly before they leave primary school.
What happens after that if it's not even caught on?
It becomes a real issue now. There are some children who have learning difficulties that can be addressed. If these issues are not addressed before they leave primary school, they create a whole other world of problems for our high schools, John Gray and Clifton Hunter, to deal with. Children transitioning to a high school environment when they don't have these basic skills. So that's a problem for the school administrators. But for the child itself, it starts to become an issue of shame. Slowly but surely, they realize that everyone else can read and they can't. And that can often translate to behavioral issues in a classroom, where if you can't participate, then your only option is to opt out as quickly as possible to opt out of a classroom environment. So we can see that the knock-on effects of a child not being able to read and comprehend is beyond just enjoying Jack and the Beanstalk or Goodnight Moon. It is about that child's quality of life.
You heard it there from Miss Marilyn Connolly, Executive Director of Literacy is for Everyone, and that's life. We're putting the spotlight and hearing more about Cayman Bay's Literacy Month activities, and joining me in studio telling us more is Miss Marilyn Connolly and Miss Christy Watler, who's Marketing Manager at Cayman Bay. Now, I believe September 8th was International Literacy Day. What was the key message from Life Cayman?
The focus of International Literacy Day is literacy and multilingualism. So that is set at an international level, and organizations around the world are encouraged to focus on that. And that is particularly relevant to Cayman, where we have so many different cultures and languages being spoken. Once upon a time, you go into town and you hear English and you hear English dialect, which is also an important form of multilingualism. Now you can hear so many different languages. You can hear Afrikaans, Tagalog, you can hear Spanish. There's so many different languages that we hear that children come to school with. Right. And so we need to encourage the fact that we have a multicultural, a very diverse society, and we need to make sure that all of our children, no matter their backgrounds, can learn how to read. But I do want to highlight dialect, local dialect, as a part of multilingualism. Oftentimes we look down on Caymanian dialect because it doesn't sound professional, because it's not the Queen's English. But we need to honor and understand that that is an exceptionally effective form of communication. And it means that a child not just speaks Queen's English, but a child can communicate in two ways. Right. And we need to respect that and not just say speak properly. We need to teach them that, yes, there is a time and a place for each one, but it is valid to be able to speak in your dialect.
Key pointers right there, and be proud of who we are.
Absolutely.
You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, as we put the spotlight and hear more about Cayman Bay's Literacy Month activities with Miss Christy Watler and Miss Marilyn Connolly. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear about an upcoming scavenger hunt and volunteers, how one can register even to be a part of life, and feedbacks received and tips for improving reading. So in a few minutes, we'll be right back with more on Cayman Bay's Literacy Month activities.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The past half-century have offered Cayman a significant growth spurt. The 1950s were a launchpad year, with a number of hotels opening as tourism began to increase. In 1953, an airfield was opened in Grand Cayman, eventually replacing the seaplane service which had operated since the 1940s. Also in 1953, the Georgetown Hospital was opened and Barclays Bank, the first commercial bank, started doing business here. A few years later, in 1956, the weather station at Owen Roberts International Airport on Grand Cayman began operation. And then in 1959, Cayman received its first written constitution, which granted women the right to vote. And the Cayman Islands ceased to be a dependency of Jamaica. Radio Cayman's Historical Facts Vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. Cayman National is hosting a vehicle loan fair on Saturday, 14 September from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Cayman National Recreational Field located across from the main Elgin Avenue branch. Local dealers and insurance providers will be on site with random spot prices, refreshments, and a bouncing castle for the kids. Come out September 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and make that new car you've been dreaming about possible with Cayman National Bank.
Cayman Medical Supplies, now providing Cayman Brac with medical supplies. Call 949-6211. And Cayman Medical Supplies will arrange to ship from wheelchairs and walkers to all kinds of medical supplies. Your order will be shipped to you either by Cayman Airways or Thompson Shipping for one agreed upon price. Telephone 949-6211. Cayman Medical Supplies, located at number 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, providing quality pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and consumer products to healthcare providers, retailers, and ultimately the patients at a reasonable rate in a friendly, caring, and timely manner.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue policies when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 or Denise Brown at 814-7229. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Michael and Denise today at Cayman Insurance Center.
Marketing. It is the key that no business can live without. From social media to Google Ads, websites to app development, or even graphic design to video commercials, FSH Design is here to help you and your business succeed. We focus on personalized digital marketing and offer advertising consultations for each of our clients. Don't waste time. We want to help you reach your marketing goals today. We work directly with you and your business to generate a strategic marketing plan that will develop current and creative results. Check out our website at fshdesign.com.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzzes. We keep the spotlight on Cayman Bay's Literacy Month activities. And in studio with me, I'm pleased to be joined by Marketing Manager of Cayman Bay, Miss Christy Whitaker, and Miss Marilyn Connolly, Executive Director for Life. Now, I understand there's a scavenger hunt that's planned at Cayman Bay for Literacy Month. How does it work, and tell us more?
That's very exciting. Yes, I'm very excited to talk about this one. This one gets the kids out, running about in Cayman Bay, and we've actually seen a few kids doing it, and they just have a blast. Basically, what they do is they visit Books and Books for their activity sheet, and what we've done is we've come up with a few books that we've kind of hidden clues in various places in Cayman Bay, in the courtyards, by the Rise, our new pedestrianized walking trail on the island. They're hidden in various spots, and the kids just need to go around and find those clues and fill out the activity sheet. And once they've done that, which it's not very difficult at all, we understand kids are doing this and we want them to have fun, but it's based off of books that they know as well. So right. they'll be very excited to complete this and to kind of just find the clues, and they'll recognize characters and whatnot. So we're seeing the excitement with that for sure. And basically, once it's completed, they just return it to Books and Books, and they'll get 10% off their next purchase.
Good. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you share with us some details regarding the Advent Calendar competition? Where can persons collect forms, and how long will it run for?
Yep, so that is an initiative put on by Books and Books. They've been doing that for quite some time, and it kind of ties in Literacy Month and then runs all the way into the holiday season. So we're asking kids to write in about their favorite book and why it's their favorite book, and they just drop off that submission form to Books and Books. And I think it's about 24, 25 kids that are picked that have written the most intriguing submission or the most exciting one, or however they're judging, that Books and Books chooses to judge that. They're basically going to pick 24 kids to pick a prize out of their Advent calendar that they're going to release in December. And that is open to children's ages 6 to 16, and there's going to be different categories. So obviously a 16-year-old won't be competing against a 6-year-old, but there'll be different categories for those age groups, and they'll all get a chance to pick a prize and be rewarded for their writing skills.
Okay. Now, Ms. Marilyn, where volunteers are concerned, is Life looking for or require additional volunteers? And if so, what are the requirements?
As long as there are children who need readers, we are looking for volunteers.
Okay.
And there are children who need readers. So we encourage anyone in the community with 30 minutes that they can spend reading to a child to contact us at volunteer@life.org.ky or 938-6300 if you're interested in getting information to become a Life volunteer. There are reading slots at every single school on Grand Cayman. And there are morning reading times before work, lunchtime slots, and after-school slots. So we have various locations and times to meet a variety of needs. And that 30 minutes makes such a difference to the children that you're reading with.
Now, Ms. Christie, how has these literacy events at Cayman Bay been embraced by the local community?
I think there's been a great amount of excitement over the Literacy Month events. This is something, again, that we've been doing for 5 years, so people look forward to the activities and they definitely participate. I know the kids definitely love the story time. The first one went off really well. Books and Books had a great turnout. Our scavenger hunt, I believe we're almost up to 100 kids that have done it already, and it's just the first 2 weeks of September. So it's been really a great experience for all. And one of the things that we're also doing on our social media platforms, in particular Facebook and Instagram for Cayman Bay, is we've been contacting literacy ambassadors like Marilyn, Isadora, who also does the Sing-Along Books and Books program. We've been contacting them and getting them to provide tips to us, and we've been posting them throughout the month. We'll continue to do that throughout the month of September for their literacy tips that they have. We've also engaged a number of our staff to also share their tips and in the form of a video and a post on our social pages. And I guess going into the schools as well has always been, a passion. And from our staff's perspective, they're always eager to go and enjoy those times with the kids. So overall, it's been highly embraced with excitement and enthusiasm.
Now, Marilyn, what are some tips to offer relating to improving reading for students?
Well, the first tip that I can offer is to just do it. My suggestion is if you have a child, read with that child 5 to 10 minutes once a day. Whatever it is, a newspaper article, a nice little bedtime story, whatever it is, 5 to 10 minutes a day, and to have it be consistent. So that's the important thing. If you don't have children, read with your nieces, nephews, or sign up to become a Life reader. But more importantly, just read regularly and consistently with little children in your life. And the second tip, really specifically related to Literacy Month, is if you're interested in being multilingual in the Caymanian dialect, pick up a copy of the Cayman Dictionary by Kevin Goring. There's some fun phrases in there, fun words in there that you might want to explore from your childhood or introduce your children to if you're newer to Cayman. Become multilingual and learn some Caymanian words with the Cayman Dictionary.
Water puddle.
Yeah.
Now, Christy, I'm hearing about a photo contest with a giant read sign. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, that's something that we got made a few years ago, and we always pull out in September for Literacy Month. And it's moved around the town center in various locations, and people can it's just a fun thing for people to just go and take pictures by. It's a huge sign. You can't miss it. And it says read on it, and it's just to celebrate literacy again and just to get people talking about Literacy Month and taking pictures. And we encourage people to tag Cayman Bay. You never know, you might get your photo reshared and reposted on our social pages. So it's just a fun thing for people to just engage and promote Literacy Month.
Upcoming events for this Saturday, and who will be featured as an author? I know you mentioned it at the beginning, but
yeah. So the next set of storytime readings is with Kathleen Bodden Harris, and that is she'll be reading her book Quest on the Moral Road, and again that's at 10:30 at Books and Books.
How can persons reach out to Cayman Bay to learn more about upcoming events for Literacy Month?
There's several ways. We have our website. If you just go on to CaymanBay.com, there's a Literacy Month page and all of the activities that we talked about today are there, so they can view them on the website. There's also our Facebook page that people are more than welcome to go and interact with, and they can see all of the events and activities through that page. And then, of course, if they have any questions, they can email social@kamanabay.com.
Okay. Any closing words or final?
Well, I would just like to encourage everyone to read with your child. Spend that time investing now. 5 minutes a day will pay off huge later on. And if you'd like more information about Life Cayman, just follow us on Facebook. Like us and follow us at Life Cayman. And we're on Facebook and Instagram, so you can see what we're doing in the community. And if you want to volunteer, email volunteer@life.org.ky.
Well, Christy and Marilyn, thank you both for being our guest. All the best on your respective organizations and all success. It's a pleasure. Stay tuned for a time check and Radio Cayman's news. After that, we'll come back to the Business Buzz with a representative from the RCIPS, and her topic is traffic. Over to you, Paul.
Radio Cayman Time Check is now 7:57. This Time Check is brought to you by our friends at Price Right.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Priced Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
Cost of living, it is so high. Things are really hard, makes me want to cry. Cost of living, it is so high. Where are we going? Oh my, oh my. Yeah, cost of living is much too high. Can't get ahead no matter how I try. Things are hard and times are tough. Don't care how much you make, it never seems enough. I went to the grocery store just yesterday. I couldn't get all I needed, I couldn't afford to pay. Cost of living, it is so high. Things are really hard, makes me want to cry. Cost of living, it is too high. Where are we going? Oh my, oh my. Yeah, cost of living is much too high. Can't get ahead no matter how I try. I just got a letter saying that my loan is overdue. Can't pay my bills, don't know what I'm gonna do. This world of finance difficulty, oh Lord, it's taking the best of me. Cost of living, it is so high. Things are really hard, makes me want to cry. Cost of living, it is so high. Where are we going? Oh my, oh my. Yeah, cost of living is much too high. Can't get ahead no matter how I try. Yeah, things are hard and times are tough. Don't care how much you make, it never seems enough. I went to the grocery store just yesterday. I couldn't get all I needed, I couldn't afford to pay. The cost of living, it is so high. Things are really hard, makes me want to cry. The cost of living, it is so high. Where are we going? Oh my, oh my.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Access to information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The Utility Regulation and Competition Office wraps up its consultation on the proposed consumer protection regulations for the fuel sector tomorrow afternoon.
The fuel sector proposed consumer protection regs are primarily designed to address the short and long-term interests of consumers. So our regulatory function, as we know, is really to ensure that we keep the industry fair, we ensure that there is a minimum level of service, we ensure there is reliability, we ensure that we protect both the utility providers and the consumers at the same time. The CPR now comes in to ensure that in delivering this service that we don't ignore the consumers who can be vulnerable at times.
Chief Fuels Inspector Duke Monroe tells Radio Cayman there is still time to submit your comments on the consultation document, which can be downloaded at offreg.ky. Responses to the consultation must be submitted by 5 p.m. tomorrow by email to consultation@offreg.ky. According to the Royal Gazette, the role of 12 Bermudian employees at Butterfield Bank in Bermuda are to be made redundant as a result of cost-cutting restructuring measures, making a further 10 roles redundant in Cayman, with those and the Bermuda jobs being moved to the bank's Support Services Center in Halifax, Nova Scotia. According to the Royal Gazette, a bank spokesperson this week said employees have been given advance notice of their positions being relocated to Canada during the coming months. He said that Butterfield was working to find alternative roles within the bank for the impacted employees. And the National Gallery is hosting a special event to mark the opening of their latest exhibit. I spoke with the gallery's Jessica Ebanks about tonight's event.
Thursday, September 12th, from 6 until 7:30, is the opening reception for the National Gallery's latest outreach exhibition called Inside Out.
Can you tell me a little bit about what this exhibition features?
This exhibition will feature artwork by 31 artists who are all inmates of HM Northward and Fairbanks prisons and residents of the Caribbean Haven Residential Center who all participate in the gallery's outreach program called Art Haven. Art Haven is a program that's been running for many years, which provides structured art classes within these facilities as well as access to art materials. This program is instructed by Mr. Joseph Betty and is sponsored by Mr. Kevin Butler and Miss Lori Monk.
Who can come to the reception?
It is free to the public and all are welcome to attend, and the exhibition itself will be up from the 12th to the 27th of September in the National Gallery's Dart Auditorium Community Gallery.
In regional news, President of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, O'Neill Grant, says the entity will be pushing discussions on the intro paternity leave in Jamaica. Speaking at a JIS think tank at the agency's regional office in Montego Bay on Monday, Grant noted that fathers need time off from work at the birth of their children, similar to the period provided for mothers under the Maternity Leave Act. He says, quote, "We do recognize that our men have been showing that they are responsible, and they want responsibility to be recognized formally. When we have children, we want to be there for them." Grant said the JCSA will also be advocating for leave for adoptive parents. He argued that adoptive parents should be given time off to bond with their child, noting that, quote, "This is akin to bringing a newborn into the world." Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Police in Russia have carried out early morning raids on regional headquarters and private flats of the movement of the opposition leader Alexei Navalny. A close aide said more than 80 addresses in some 30 cities were targeted. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has denied that he lied to the Queen about his reasons for seeking a 5-week suspension of Parliament. It comes after a Scottish court ruled the suspension unlawful, finding that he'd been motivated by trying to impede parliamentary scrutiny. As the body of the former Zimbabwean president, Robert Mugabe, is being prepared to lie in state, his family have said he'll be buried in his village. The government had wanted it to be interred in Harare. Some of America's best-known companies have called on the U.S. government to urgently address gun violence. The heads of 145 companies, including Twitter, Uber and Levi Strauss, signed an open letter urging Senate leaders to expand background checks to all gun sales. Human rights groups say that Iran has sentenced 7 activists to long prison terms on charges connected to their involvement in or reporting on trade union activities. 3 of those jailed are workers' rights activists, while the 4 others work for an online magazine that reports on labour issues. The office of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vehemently denied a report in the American media that Israel planted spying devices near the White House. Mr. Netanyahu's office said the Israeli government had a long-standing commitment not to engage in any intelligence operations in the US. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen, and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Attention all gamers. Get ready for the return of the Caribbean's #1 esports event and gaming convention this September 28th and 29th.
That's right. Gamers Bay 4, now a 2-day event. Going down September 28th and 29th, right here in the Cayman Islands.
If you think you have what it takes, you can compete for over $15,000 in cash and prizes. Compete head-to-head in Fortnite, Apex Legends, FIFA 19,
the best players of the world,
and Super Smash Bros.
Special celebrity guest gamers and YouTubers. Drifter, Fangs, Queen of FIFA, and Team Martin will be in attendance.
There will be lots of free gameplay for PC gamers, console gamers, mobile gaming, and VR.
For more information and to register yourself or a team, visit gamersbaycayman.com.
Proudly sponsored by NetGeeks Media,
Mountain Dew,
C3 Pure Fiber,
Papa John's,
Department of Tourism,
Ministry of Education,
Kimpton Seafire Hotel,
Dolphin Discovery,
Cayman Turtle Center,
Hurley's Media,
Suzuki, Margaritaville Beach Resort, and Radio Cayman.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Passador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Super Stitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special now curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Super Stitch. Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Good morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at your latest weather. All compliments of our friends at Super Stitch. Of course, your weather is provided by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Present temperature 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Skies are mostly clear. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 9 knots with gusts up to 12 knots. Barometric pressure rising, now at 1011.3. Relative humidity 69.2%. Isolated showers associated with a surface trough over eastern Cuba and southern Bahamas may occasionally spread into our area overnight as the trough moves west over the Gulf of Mexico. Forecast for today, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of afternoon showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall to the upper 80s. Winds will be east to northeasterly at 5 to 10 knots and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Later on tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be light and variable. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide is coming up in the next 10 minutes. or 12 minutes so at 8:26. It's going to be low at 2:37 this afternoon. High again at 8:58 tonight. For tomorrow, low tide is at 3:04 a.m. High at 8:54 a.m. Low at 3 p.m. and high at 9:16 p.m. Sunset this evening is at 6:29. Sunrise for Friday morning at 6:13. And the outlook is for decreasing chances of showers from Friday morning as the surface trough moves west. That's your latest weather. Big thanks to our weather sponsor.
Superstitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Superstitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Superstitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special Nolan curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Superstitch. Superstitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadena Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. No one is alone.
Once upon a time, all your wishes came true, and you lived happily ever after. Or so you thought. Come see Cayman Drama Society's presentation of the musical Into the Woods.
Into the woods to grandmother's house and home before dark.
The show opens Thursday, September 12th, closes Saturday, October 5th. Tickets are selling fast. Order yours now at cds.ky.
Into the woods and out of the woods.
To be continued.
The Cayman Islands Cancer Society presents Conquering Cancer 6. Let's fight cancer together. This event will offer you information about new and innovative ways of screening, diagnosing, and treating cancer. Come and learn from the top medical professionals from leading healthcare providers from near and far. The event takes place at the Marriott Beach Resort the 21st of September. This interactive health fair is free to the public of all ages and will include free healthcare screenings for glucose level, blood pressure, BMI, and cholesterol, as well as free health food samples.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at traffic situations. Once again, taking a look out in the east. Along the east-west arterial, usual heavy pileup of incoming traffic, moving between 5 to 10 knots. Yeah, it's really hectic out in the east area as you make your way into Georgetown. Of course, looking just outside of Kingsport Center, similar situation with traffic heading along the Linford-Pearson Highway, backed up all the way to, like I just mentioned, east-west arterial and further back. Crazy morning coming out of the east. Similar Crew Road, of course, getting into Georgetown. If you're heading along Bobby Thompson Way through Agnes Way, yes, it's slow moving as well. Even onto Huldah Avenue, it is a slow pace heading in the northern direction. Once turning onto Elgin Avenue or North Sound Road, a little bit of traffic out that way. Of course, looking outside A.L. Thompson, traffic heading in the northern direction along North Sound Road, very slow, but once you get onto Elgin Avenue or up Esley Tibbetts Highway, good movement of traffic. Most streets in Georgetown getting very much busy. Shedden Road, Eastern Avenue. And coming out of West Bay, traffic looking quite good at the moment. But still, it's coming out of the east. Just bear with that traffic situation. You'll make it to work a little bit late maybe, but you'll get there. Buckle up, stay safe, and stay off those smartphones. Big thanks to our traffic report sponsor.
Introduce yourself to the Fresh Fit 6-inch Whey at Subway. That's 7 subs that have 400 calories or less. These are healthier choices made with fresh options, making healthy delicious. Choose from roast beef, the Subway Club, or Veggie Delight. There's oven-roasted chicken, turkey breast, black forest ham, and sweet onion chicken teriyaki. With 400 calories or less and loaded with flavor, enjoy the Fresh Fit subs at Subway. Available island-wide and 24 hours a day at Anderson Square and Centennial Towers.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz that is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and FSH Design. In this segment, I'm pleased to put the spotlight on the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, and which we have every second Thursday of the month. And my guest in studio this morning is Chief Inspector Mr. Malcolm Kay, who's here to tell us more because our topic will focus this morning on traffic. And I know for everyone who's coming from the eastern districts, this must be a very sore one to engage in. But you know what? We got to do what we got to do. And let's hope that, Mr. Kay can definitely address this and share some information that will probably ease your anxieties, or maybe you even have to change your agenda a little bit in the mornings and afternoons going home. It's a pleasure to have you in studio, sir, and good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Now, share with us some details. It is end of summer operation, and what's involved. School is back in. We're dealing with everything in the kitchen sink sometimes, it feels like, when it comes to this topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what we try to do, not just this year, but every year, at the end of the summer holidays, the children are back to school and the parents get back into their routine of dropping the children off to school and either back home or onwards to work. We thought we would try and assist with the programme from a safety point of view and to ease with the traffic around the school areas. So we've had a joint operation from the last 2 weeks. This is the third week between the community policing departments across all the districts and the traffic units. So we've tried to have officers in and around each of the primary schools across all the districts, just to, as I said, ease the traffic flow in and out of the schools. That's for the parents themselves, but also just to remind other road users passing and in the area to slow down, schools back in, and to take extra care and consideration at these peak times, in the morning at school drop-off and in the afternoons, obviously, at the pick-up time. Most of the school areas have designated school zones. Mm-hmm. So, we always encourage the motorists to observe these areas. In those areas, you should, when the amber lights are flashing, you should reduce your speed to 15 miles per hour, for safety, but also the fees associated with speeding tickets in those zones are actually doubled. So it's in your financial best interests as well as the safety of yourself and other road users to obey those speed areas.
Now, are there a lot of traffic violations occurring around school zones?
Yes, unfortunately there are. Maybe people aren't adhering to the 15 miles an hour zone because they're, for the last 6 weeks or so, the school zones haven't been schools haven't been in. So it's just re-educating the public that the schools are back in. But there's a general use of or misuse of the roads, but not just around the schools, but in general. So some of the main ones that we see during those times are speeding, obviously. The use of cell phones still continues to be a major problem. And also, not just for the general public, but for parents and children alike, we've also noticed in the last few weeks an awful lot of children and parents not wearing their seatbelts. And when pulled up on it, some acknowledged yes, but some weren't sure or weren't aware that it was actually the law that persons in the back seat of a vehicle have to wear their seatbelts. So, at this point, I would just like to remind everybody that when in a vehicle, you should be wearing your seatbelt in the front and in the back. particularly with children, either in the seat or in a booster seat or in a child seat.
Now, when lights are flashing red with a stop sign, this is as it pertains to school buses, what should motorists do? I'm seeing a lot of aggression for some weird reason on the road, and respecting school buses and just the general rule of the rules when it pertains to using our roads. But when you see that, you can't get any bigger. This big yellow bus, flashing red lights, and this stop sign that comes out like an arm on the side. Tell us what, because it's obvious some of us don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, as you quite rightly point out, you can't miss, it's like a big yellow whale moving down the road. So you can't miss it. And when the lights are on and the stop sign is extended from the side, and quite often they will turn a little bit diagonally in the road to
try and block it.
Try and block the road, which I'm sure they've had to do from experience. Well, quite simply, that the law says that to stop, obviously when you're travelling behind a bus, drive with adequate distance so that the bus can stop and turn, so you don't have to slam your brakes on. But when the lights come on, just stop. The buses do stop quite frequently, but they don't stop for long. I've been behind them myself. It's a couple of minutes at most. So for the safety of the children jumping off, who may not be thinking about the dangers of somebody speeding along or with not driving with the same attention that they should, they could jump off the bus. They're running home or running into the school across the road. So when the bus stops and the lights come on, stop. Let the children get on or get off, and then the lights go off, and if you get stuck behind one, yes, you might chug down the road, but better that than causing an accident or injury to a child.
Now, do you see the need for a police presence more in the morning or in the afternoon when school dismiss?
I think it's helpful in the morning. I mean, ideally, it would be good at both times, and we have been doing that over the last few weeks, morning and afternoon, as I said, across all the districts at the primary schools. I think in the morning, there's a massive concentration of traffic. Everybody's hustling, leaving work. You've got to drop the kids off to school, get to work, do your errands, So maybe there's a little bit more distraction. So I think the concentrated traffic is in the morning. So it's better for us to be around then to assist with the flow. In the afternoon, I think there's a bit more of a scatter of pickups and people moving around. So there is less congestion in the afternoon.
Okay. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we put the spotlight and hear more from the RCIPS as it pertains to traffic and their summer program as it pertains to school traffic and just observing the road signs and respecting those school buses, and more so highlighting those areas where schools are located and what you need to do. The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Centre, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life and other lines of insurance products and services. Also by FSH Design. Let your imagination grow with FSH Design. Visit fshdesign.com today. Paul, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about bad practices on our roads, traffic congestion, vehicular crashes, speeding, and driving too slow. It's a delicate balance. Let's hope we can find the magic to this and have some solution this morning when we come back after these short messages.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with K-Man Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. K-Man Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies, free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Marketing. It is the key that no business can live without. From social media to Google Ads, websites to app development, or even graphic design to video commercials, FSH Design is here to help you and your business succeed. We focus on personalized digital marketing and offer advertising consultations for each of our clients. Don't waste time. We want to help you reach your marketing goals today. We work directly with you and your business to generate a strategic marketing plan that will develop current and creative results. Check out our website at fshdesign.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's back. And this year, it's bigger and better than ever. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman presents PACE, the 8th annual Delano Hislop Memorial Journey for Life, 5K walk, 10K run, and introducing the all-new 15K ride event. That's right, parents, kids, young and old. Come out on Sunday, September 22nd at the all-new starting location at the all-new Jasmine Building, adjacent to Coconut Joe's parking lot. Also, participants who raise the most funds can win one of our 3 grand prizes: $250 for third place, $500 for second place, or the $1,000 grand prize. Other random prizes will be available on site. So Cayman, it's time to get active. Sign up today at caymanactive.com/pace. Be a part of the 5K walk, 10K run, and the all-new 15K ride event. Sponsored in part by DART, CUC, Cayman Water Company, the Cayman Islands Seafarers Association, Water Authority Cayman, Borden Holdings, BF Insurance, Cineco, and the Maples Group.
Did you know that in the event of a hurricane, water designated for the purposes of drinking, cooking, and bathing must be disinfected before use? Water may be disinfected either by boiling or through the use of chlorine bleach. To disinfect through boiling, simply leave the water on the fire for 1 minute after it begins to boil. To disinfect with bleach, add 3 ounces of chlorine bleach to every 1,000 gallons of water. If you are not able to smell the bleach in the water after 30 minutes, then add half of the amount of bleach that was added during the initial application. Recheck the water after 15 minutes to ensure that there is a residual bleach smell. A residual bleach smell is an indicator that the water has been properly disinfected. For more post-hurricane safety tips, visit DEH website at deh.gov.ky.
Welcome back to the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, continuing my conversation with representative from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, Chief Inspector Mr. Malcolm Kay, telling us all and giving us some information on traffic for back to school and their update on the end of summer operation that is ongoing. So you may see traffic officers, police officers in the front of various schools. This is a back to school or end of summer operation that is ongoing with the RCIPS and the traffic department to make sure that our little ones are safe and that people are obeying those school zones and the rules that apply. Now, let's go into, there's good and bad in every conversation. When it comes to our roads, I swear, people appear to be lawless. They're disrespectful. I see so much aggression. But what are some current bad practices that has been observed by motorists that might be adding to the traffic congestion? We understand cell phones, that sort of stuff, just being distracted, not caring.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Some of the causes of that, sort of the bad practices, maybe leaving late. Plan your journey. If you've got to be at work for 8, then leave in plenty of time so you're not rushing and weaving through traffic. And inconsiderate driving. I mean, I guess some people think I'm more important than you and I need to get there before you. I need to cut in front of you. But some of the actual, driving offences we're seeing, as we mentioned, the use of cell phones is distracting. a lack of using turn signals, indicators, whatever you want to call them, can cause issues. Certainly leads to a large number of the less serious fender benders, as we call them, particularly around roundabouts. And as I said, speeding is one of the bigger issues as well. So there are a number of contributing factors that lead to inconsiderate driving. But all in all, just a general respect for other road users.
You're quite right.
Around you. I think you should drive your vehicle as if one of your family members, your mum, is in the car in front, and drive with respect.
Now, what roads are you're seeing more vehicular crashes occurring, and what would you say are the main contributing factors?
Some more of the minor incidents, fender benders as I call them, are around some of the roundabouts as people get used to using roundabouts. And around Georgetown, we have an awful lot of the smaller MVAs. Obviously, where speed and alcohol are involved, quite often at night on the faster stretches. So we see them on the West Bay Road, Shamrock Road, and further east. Very sadly, we had a double fatality very recently. That's still being investigated, but there's always the possibility that speed and alcohol were involved in that incident, and others that have happened in the past like that. So your longer stretches of road, you normally get the more major catastrophic injuries and incidents.
For those drivers who tend to drive at excessive rate of speed, what tips and warnings would you extend to them? Because one thing is pressing the gas, but you're not a NASCAR driver. And we don't even have the roads that could even warrant some of the speeds that I'm seeing.
No, you're absolutely right. I see some people entering a roundabout thinking they're at Brands Hatch. And
exactly.
The faster they can get into it, the faster they can get out, taking the racing line. Again, just slow down. Have respect and courtesy for other road users around you. It's very dangerous. It can lead to loss of life. It can lead to injury. It can lead to very expensive repairs and damages. But also speeding fines. It's $20 for every mile per hour over the limit. And double in the school zones, as I mentioned earlier. So it's expensive, it's dangerous. So slow down, have consideration for your fellow road users.
That's right.
Not just vehicular, but push bikes, pedestrians. Take some care, and we do have a lot of incidents where people, not just sports cyclists, but people who use a bicycle to get around, are knocked off, bumped off. They're very vulnerable to vehicles, obviously, because again, I don't think people take the time and the care and attention to see a bicycle coming and still pull out.
Yeah, I noticed that there's not much respect given to bicycles and motorcycles when it comes over cars. Even pulling out of a side road and somebody lets you out and there's a motorcycle that's in the front of that car that's letting you out. Yeah. It's like you just totally disregard the fact that there's a motorcycle still coming.
Yeah. So it's either you're completely distracted by what you're doing in the vehicle, or you don't care. Total arrogance to other road users. And unfortunately, it can lead to, serious problems.
Yeah. Now, we're all guilty of bad driving habits, but we can make changes to our driving routine to improve them. Being aware of what you're doing when you're behind the wheel is the first step. Make a point of focusing only on the road when you're driving. And my God, if you need to eat or apply cosmetics or even make a call, pull over first. Taking these few steps can help to improve our driving skills and make roads safer for everyone. Now, Can a person get a ticket for driving too slow, like 25 in a 40-mile zone? Share some information on that for me, because it's from one extreme to the next.
Yeah, absolutely. Where did I have my... So, driving too slowly, can you get a ticket? There is an actual offence called obstructing traffic while moving.
Okay.
So it is a ticketable offence. I don't see it very often. You might get some of our older road users obeying the speed. So it's unfortunate these days that when you're actually obeying the speed limit, you're actually going slower than everybody else.
Yes.
So you might not be going too far under the speed limit. But if somebody is driving slowly, then, there may be a problem. There may be a medical problem. There may be an issue. They may be looking for a street, house number or something. So if there are problems with you when you're driving, I would suggest you just pull over and, take the safe option. Or if you're answering a phone or texting and you've slowed down to look for something in the car, that might be a reason. So obviously that is a big no-no and definitely against the law. So yes, there is a obstructing traffic while moving, but I don't see that very often.
Okay. Now, when drivers fail to use their turn signals, what problems can come from that? We see this more in those roundabouts than you can ever imagine.
Yeah, absolutely, we do, and I can't emphasize this enough. Use your indicators, use your turn signals. What I have noticed recently, and I must applaud the use of the road markings that actually show you the idiot's guide to negotiating the roundabout.
Yes.
If you're going this way, you should be in this lane, and if you're going that way, be in that lane. So those are helpful, and I think from other jurisdictions, with Cayman being such a diverse melting pot, as they say. Not all jurisdictions have roundabouts.
Right.
A lot don't. So getting used to them is an educational thing. I know, the government and media have tried with the education. So using your indicator is vital. Mm-hmm. I see so many, not they don't always result in accidents, but they result in a standoff.
Yes.
Being in the wrong lane, going round the wrong way. So learn how to use a roundabout first and foremost, but use your indicators. Give everybody a clue. Give them a starter for 10. Mm-hmm. Let them know which direction you're going. And as a driver, drive defensively. Drive considering where the other vehicles are around you are going to be going. Because if you're whizzing off to the left and somebody's going to be coming around on your left,
yeah.
And it causes problems. So we don't read minds. Indicate, show your intentions, which lane or which exit you're exiting, and it can only help.
Now let's talk about the work that the RCIPS Traffic and Roads Policing Unit have been doing to improve overall road safety on all three islands. What has been their on the top of their list in making sure that everything works out well there?
Sure. Well, we've tried to increase the visibility on the roads. And I brought a few stats, actually, just out of interest for August alone, that the Traffic Management Unit issued 240 speeding tickets. This is for August. 32 tickets for seatbelt violations, 71 tickets for tint violations, and 33 for mobile phone violations. So 240 tickets for speeding. So we're out there. We're doing our part. Traffic issues is everybody's responsibility. It's the police for education, support, and obviously enforcement and prosecution. But it's also everybody's responsibility as road users to get from point A to point B as safely as possible. The infrastructure is improving, as we all know, so that can assist with the backup and the traffic issues in the morning and at night going home. But as I said, everybody's responsibility. So what are we doing? Yeah, we are trying to improve the visibility, trying to improve with the enforcement side of it as well. But I think opportunities like this for me to come along, and if people are listening and taking heed, education is a big part of it as well.
Yes, huge.
And changing bad habits, lifetime habits, cultural habits, wherever we've come from around the world.
Leave them there.
Yeah. Come and enjoy the island. Let's
exactly,
drive safely.
For what we offer.
Drive safely, drive carefully, and get there without injury, without any dings and dents to your car.
Exactly. Now, if motorists hear a police car or an ambulance with sirens, lights flashing, what is expected of that road user?
Well, yeah, it's a good question.
Not chase it and find out where they're going.
No. Yeah, obviously, if there's a fire engine, a police car, an ambulance with their blue lights and siren on, they are responding to an emergency. You should pull over on the shoulder at a safe place and let the vehicle pass, and then continue on. We have had incidents where either the music's too loud or people are on the phone and haven't heard the emergency services trying to get from where they're going. Obviously, it's a life and death situation at times, so to hinder those emergency services can be very dangerous.
Now, how can persons keep up to date with the RCIPS?
Well, we are quickly moving into the 21st century. We have we have an app on the phone. We have our website. We're on Facebook. Obviously, we have community clinics around the districts that people can attend as well. But the website and the Facebook and the app are, the online methods of getting in touch with us. And there's the old-fashioned way: come to the police station. If anybody wants to, come and speak to me, I'm at the Georgetown Police Station.
And there are neighbourhood beat officers now that are definitely increasing in numbers and building that bridge between the community and the police. So, the community policing department is doing its part. We have been working closely together, the two departments, community policing and the traffic, each month, and we'll continue through the rest of this year. As we mentioned off air, Pirates Week is right around the corner. And then, I dare to say it, it's Christmas. Yes.
So, there's a lot going on. So,
Busy year with Kaboo and everything.
Busy year with
so
Kaboo.
it was a big,
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What key points would you like to leave with our listeners this morning, Chief Inspector Malcolm Kay?
I think, first and foremost, obey the rules of the road. Obey the laws of the road. Have consideration for your fellow road users. Life is very precious and it can be taken away very quickly if we're distracted. So the two big things: cell phone use and drinking and driving and speeding. So cut those out. Drive with care, consideration, and for your fellow road users.
We just had a caller who just had a question. What are the rules and regulations as it relates to blaring headlights? These bright LED lights that they're changing out of in making it their own, like custom.
Yeah.
What are the rules that apply to that?
Well, that is an offence. The headlights should be factory headlights. I don't think you're talking about them being on dim or high. Obviously, that's just a consideration thing with ongoing traffic. But if you're changing your headlights with blue, that is an offence. And they're obviously changing them after they've had their vehicle licensed and inspected. Otherwise, they wouldn't be passed. So if they are seen on the road, they will be ticketed for that.
And if somebody sees it, they can call it in as well?
Absolutely.
License. Is this one that you call into 911 or you call the RCIPS?
Would call, it's not an
4222?
emergency call, so I would call into the police station.
So, and that number is 949-4222.
It is.
Chief Inspector Malcolm Cade, it's a pleasure to have you in studio and giving us updates and excellent conversation this morning. And I hope that persons will heed to everything that is shared and continue to do so. And for those young drivers out there as well, those are definitely at the tip. And when you look at even the mature drivers using our roads, a lot of us are not example setters.
Yeah.
Many bus drivers have an issue. We all play a part in operating and using our roads safely, and we're just hoping that by continued collaboration with the RCIPS and all of the various departments that will be showcased here in this agreement, that people will take away valuable information and adhere to the rules and regulations as it pertains to our laws here in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Now, as we, the next date for the RCIPS to be on the Business Buzz is October 10th, as we continue with our regular monthly series that takes place every second Thursday. But feel free to join me again on Tuesday for another Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I want to thank our continued sponsors, that is Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center, along with FSH Design. Susan is the producer, and this morning we got Paul operating the boards. To you, our loyal listeners, thank you for your continued support. Until Tuesday, have a safe and fabulous Thursday.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And FSH Design. Let your imagination grow with FSH Design. Visit fshdesign.com today.
At Logic, we make things better for our customers.